Action News live at 6 continues.
Welcome back. A 5-year-old girl brutally abused as an infant is about to be sent back to her biological parents. Emma, as we'll call her, has been in the same foster home her entire life. But she's about to leave the only family she's ever known because the Nevada Supreme Court says it's the law.
There were 2 bleeding on the brain incidents, bruises on the brain where it had bled, and then she had suffered a fractured skull.
According to these courtroom documents obtained by Action News, Emma was removed from her home after being rushed to Sunrise Hospital at just 5 weeks old with head injuries. The report says the differing ages of the brain bleeds indicated that the injuries were from 2 separate events. Emma was pulled from the home and placed with foster parents J.D. and Vanessa Smith. That was 5.5 years ago. Now, the Nevada Supreme Court has ruled the biological parents have completed their case plan and the child should go home.
I'm a big advocate of reunifying families.
Why doesn't it make sense in this case?
The time's been so long. You're telling a little girl who's 5.5 that where she has been, the bonds that she's formed over the last 5.5 years, you're telling her those are going to change.
So the Smiths are fighting to adopt Emma, and they believe forcing her to leave their home would cause severe emotional and psychological damage.
She means the world to us and our family, and the thought of her leaving is devastating.
Stephen Dahl is with the Legal Aid Center of Nevada. He blames the DA, the Department of Family Services, and the courts for keeping this child in the system for 5.5 years. And he says the biological parents shouldn't be punished for that.
This system, first and foremost, is to reunite children with their parents, if possible, even if that takes a while.
Almost 1 year after the termination of parental rights petition was granted, the Nevada Supreme Court overturned the district court's decision.
But Senator Scott Hammond says 5.5 years isn't a little while. It's the child's entire life. He heard about Emma and sponsored Senate Bill 303, designed to make sure this never happens again.
I've been talking forever, feeling like nobody heard me. And somebody finally heard me. I yelled long enough and loud enough that somebody said, "Okay, we hear you."
After flying easily through the Senate, SB 303 is facing tough Democratic opposition in the Assembly for favoring foster families.
We're just turning it on its head and saying, well, at some point these people have a right to adopt. No, there is no right to adopt, ever, anywhere, in any statute, in any law, in any constitutional consideration. There is never a right for a foster parent to adopt a child.
But Bridget Duffy, who authored SB 303, says it's not about giving foster parents more rights. It's about what's best for children, and requires judges to just consider how long a child's been in foster care before sending them back home.
It's not making it easier for us to terminate parental rights. It's not changing our burden of proof. It's just giving one layer of consideration. So it's a thoughtful process when the court is thinking about a child.
While the Assembly tinkers with the bill, the Smiths know it will probably not change their situation. Barring a miracle, they will soon have to hand their daughter over.
Any little thing she does or the kids do with her, or any family activity we do, we don't know if that will be the last time.
In its ruling earlier this month, the Nevada Supreme Court noted the biological parents were not required to explain Emma's 2 skull fractures, and that no one could ever prove who hurt the girl.
Are you worried about her safety?
Absolutely.
Why?
She's my little girl. I'm her dad, or at least that's what she calls me. I'll be worried about her until the day I die.
A growing number of foster families say there are more Emmas. That's why we're doing this story. They're in the same situation. A number of them testified in Carson City about Senate Bill 303. It should head to the full assembly for vote sometime this week. Beth Fisher, Channel 13 Action News.
Beth, thank you so much.